5 on Journey. And we're ready.
Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression, DJ Journey, Jason Lee, and Marquita Monet. We are back.
Yes.
And we're not back for no reason. We're back for a big, major reason here on this show. So Marquita, would you do the due diligence and bring this queen in?
Absolutely. Woman meet woman.
Yes.
We are bringing live the beautiful, the gorgeous photographer. She's a content creator. She is literally like a master artist.
Yes.
It is the beautiful Catherine Asanov.
Yes. Let's give it up for her. Let's give it up for her.
Yes.
But you're gonna make me cry.
Oh my God.
We accept tears on this show. We accept tears. So do you.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we love it.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
Oh
You're
my
welcome.
God, it's our pleasure.
You're welcome.
You're
You're
Are you
welcome.
kidding me right now, Kat? It's our pleasure.
Now, Kat, you
Thank you.
do a lot, but let's go back to the beginning because a lot of people know you in sections. I mean, they know you for the beautiful photography and the different things like that,
Right.
but you do a lot. So let's just go back and let's jog back to the beginning of where all of this come from, where you're from. Like, tell the people.
Well, like scientifically, I am from Universal Stardust. Like,
Ooh.
as we all are.
Are you going to go to the
theoretically-
esoteric?
Theoretically, I'm from my mother's womb,
Oh.
which was fruition in Moscow, Russia.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from there, we
Geography.
went to Mississippi,
Wow.
Starkville, Mississippi, where
Love it.
Mississippi State University.
Hold on. Let me just stop there.
The Bulldogs.
Let me just stop there. Hold on. Moscow to Mississippi.
Right.
We got-
Starkville for all of that. My people are from Starkville. So
What?
shout out to Starkville, Mississippi. We're probably cousins.
Yo, exactly.
That's culture shock right
What's
there.
up?
I can't with Jason.
Crazy. That's like culture shock.
My Russian sister, how are you?
Tune in.
Starkville.
That's
in.
really trippy, Journey.
That
Because
is very, very
when
tricky.
I got to Mississippi, one of my first like moments was really in high school when I transitioned from a private school to a public school because I wanted to go because it was a better
Yeah.
educational system in the public school sector
Mhm.
rather than
Love
the private
that.
school. And I had this amazing African-American art school teacher.
Yes.
His name is Andrew Lark, and I will never forget
That's
this
my
man.
cousin. No,
No.
just
Okay,
playing.
I cannot. Okay, so that's why your art is so fire.
That's Andrew Lark.
I mean, you said
I'm sorry.
amazing, and I'm like, yeah, my people. Yes.
He's
I
like,
know
my
that.
people. all the people. So Andrew Lark was my high school art teacher, and he
Okay.
made us do woodworking.
Yes.
He made us
Yes.
from that wood make guitars. He made me like look at objects on a table and draw them. And then he stuck me into that dark room. What this man did whenever we were all stuck in this house, what he called the White House. Like
Oh.
he just like bumped it up all there. And he was so great at getting like sponsorships on board and
Yeah.
everything else and like really funding that educational system because he really believes in people.
Yeah.
And that made a big part of my life as well. We'll get to
Yeah.
that later. He called me the Black Russian because we listened
Black
to so
Russian.
much gospel music.
Really?
Like I just like picked up on that bit of that
Oh
like
my
gospel.
gosh,
And
Catherine,
I
I'm
like
falling in love with you.
we went to church, you know,
Okay,
together.
okay. Yes.
So yeah, we may have some cousins like that went to church together too. And I always thought that like somewhere in my DNA, I may have some like African roots, but I made my mom do the 23andMe tests and that said no, but it, you know.
But you were like, you connected so well, right,
Yeah,
Catherine?
It was very soulful because it was a very soulful experience. And that's my biggest takeaway from the South, being from Moscow to Mississippi, is that soul and that essence that man really brought to
life for you.
everybody in that community that was like in that White House,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because Moscow was so cultured and then you just got dumped into like Mississippi and you're just like tractors
Wow.
and the word y'all and you're just like, what is
Absolutely.
going
Hold
on
on.
here?
I think you should
How
have
can
your
arts
own
like
drink.
exist?
Yeah.
So you have the White Russian. I
Okay.
think we should make a drink named after you called the Black Russian.
I'm
There's
done.
a Black
I'm
Russian
so
already
done.
too.
It is?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Dang, all
You
the
know
good,
what, Journey?
all the good ideas are gone.
Well, she's
That's okay.
rocking the black tonight. So if you guys are tuned in and
That's my
streaming,
MO.
she is rocking that black, gorgeous jewels. That polishes everything. Yes, honey, I see you.
Okay, so I got a question. So after coming from Moscow, going to Mississippi, Starkville, I mean, what was next for you after the being raised by the South?
So
here in
like
America?
it really goes back to this one gentleman in the White House, Andrew
Yeah.
Lark. He it stuck me in this dark room and he gave me like an 8x10 camera, right?
Mm.
And 8x10 film, which is like something you like typically never start with. Like you go small, then you go large. He's like, you go large and that's going to be your first photo.
Yeah.
And then like we went from the largest format to like a 4x5 film to medium format. And I barely even touched 35 millimeter in high school. And they like made me touch it in college. But what he did is he gave me like my first digital camera. We had these like weird little snippy doodle Sonys, like they're like 3 megapixels.
Wow.
You know, the phones take better photos than those. And he's like, do something with this. So I got into like multiple exposures and painting with light.
Mhm.
This, you know, it's all light and outside like everywhere. So I was like, what if I can create it in a void, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't really have that many subjects besides like myself and inanimate objects like glasses and eggs. So I'm like, what do I do with this?
Right.
So I like started painting them with glow sticks because I thought glow sticks were cool. And I was really inspired by music. So I thought it was like raving in the dark room, in like a dark room, not the dark room, but in a dark room.
Yeah.
Like in a box. Like you put the artist in the box. So I came out of that box and he's like, okay, these are cool. We're going to put you into a competition. I was like, okay.
Wow.
He's like, no, you have to do it. It's part of my class. I was like, okay, fine. So we just like send off some files. And it was a really great educational program called the Scholastics Art and Writing Awards. So Scholastics Art and Writing Awards, the teachers make the students submit to it and you place at a regional level. If you do that, you go to national level. So what happens is I placed at the regional level with a gold level portfolio, which bumps me to national level, and placed there with a silver level portfolio. And like art schools started looking at me. And that was really weird. I was like, I wanted to go into computer science because I was a geek and I like learned like C++. Like when I was 16,
Coding.
I was like coding and like making people computers.
That's like
love that.
standard in Russia,
But
right? Like for you know, kids to just, here's your bottle, here's a computer, take it
No,
apart.
I mean, that was America to us. Like, you know, like we didn't
Really?
Oh
get
no,
any
we're
of
so
that.
behind, like with that.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah, that's
we
like
moved to
Silicon Valley. That's not
94,
America.
So
Yeah.
like there wasn't anything really like, you know, laptops were just barely on the market.
Yeah.
Then
So I was tearing apart desktops and like making new parts for my friends and putting together computers. And I thought that was my passion. So I got a job at like 16, like working for the man. And the funniest story is like this dude's calling in, or this lady, I forget, but she's like, my coffee maker's broke, my coffee cup holder's broken. I was like,
oh wow.
this is a
That
call
is-
center for computers.
Okay, that
Yeah.
is.
And it was her
okay.
CD-ROM drive.
And she
I was
called,
like-
wait a minute. No, wait, Kat. She called it what?
she said my coffee cup holder is broken.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, ma'am, can you turn on your computer? Is your computer turned on? We have to go to this protocol of these Q&As, you know?
Okay, Catherine, on that note.
And then I said, like,
Catherine.
I'm not going into ComSci or dealing
Yes,
with this.
yes.
Oh, that was the one of the contributing factors that you were like, okay.
Maybe
you know.
the most, because
Okay.
that story just never goes away. And after the Scholastics Art and Writing Awards, these colleges, you know, I got a full ride to one of the top, Savannah College of Art and Design. And I said, Mom, I'm going to art school
So tell me
because
this.
you don't have to pay for anything.
Catherine Z, I got a question for you. This is Jason Lee, the master artist. I'm the best of the best in the art world, the master artist.
Jason is in the house.
I am the one that actually tests the limits of creativity and art. I want to ask you this question. Very curious to see what your answer is. What artists or people have inspired you the most?
For sure.
Really, inspired your creativity, and also for me, I'm a master artist because I always tell people I killed Picasso. I have this campaign that I created because I want people to look at my art and say, hey, did he challenge or did he defeat Picasso? And then I know I will definitely destroy that man.
So he inspired you as well. So he inspired you as well, Jason.
Yeah, he inspired me.
So that's what you're trying to get.
But there's levels to the game because like Picasso didn't take the world of artwork to the level of Da Vinci or Michelangelo. He didn't create artwork on such a compelling level of a story where it actually told the story of life.
Well,
and
so, just to kind of bring it back even to like Picasso and who inspired me. I've traveled Europe. I've been really blessed to like study abroad and travel Europe, and I've seen all of Picasso's previous works, and he is as great and up there with Michelangelo as far as figure drawing. So then he went off and created his own style. As far as my inspiration goes, I would say there's 3 photographers that I definitely identified with. First off, it was Richard Avedon because he's just a classic. The black and whites, the fashion, the form, how he really worked with people and really kind of brought, a set to life. Before Richard Avedon was really Jerry Ullsman, which was like the first and foremost like forefather of bringing together like compositing into the darkroom. This guy would take like a snippet of this and a snippet of that and like literally Photoshop it in the darkroom live. And if you guys haven't seen his work, he's great. And the third would be Gregory Crutzen. And to me, he is that master of cinematic lighting to where he really stages things. What's really cool about those 3 people before I even knew that I knew that those were like my 3 inspirations and they all have very different styles. Yeah. And in my style, maybe there's some kind of like subconscious merge of the 3. But I like to keep myself diverse. What's really cool about Fruitions is I was at a gallery show with Richard Avedon, which was really humbling. And, R.I.P. Richard. I got to dance with Jerry Ullsman. Rest in peace, Jerry. He was really cool. And I dated the printer of Gregory Crutzen. So check.
That's awesome,
which is really, really neat. And inspiration like lies everywhere. So I can look in that corner and like be inspired by like a shape. So like from the designers that design like air conditioners to cups to like chords or like the most boring thing that you guys can like think of.
Whoa, girl.
There's much design and art that goes behind that.
Innovate. What would be your ultimate vision of innovation?
My ultimate vision of innovation is inspiration, because whenever people get together, innovation happens. Like the best innovators, the best things that have been innovative take a team. And that's how you can really, because I'm always like that person that I'm like, I'm going to do it all by myself because I can only trust myself. Nobody else is going to do it because nobody else is going to show up and I'm going to stay up all night and I'm going to do this and all that. But when I really bring that team together, that's pure innovation to me. So it's, about that teamwork and finding all those innovators to innovate with you and to really see eye to eye. And then also to say, well, maybe you're wrong. And this is a better idea. And you're constantly listening to another.
And really, and I don't even necessarily want to say that you're wrong, because when I look at you and everything that you're saying right now, maybe more so it challenges you.
Absolutely.
To maybe see things differently. And you are a visualist. You are, you have to be a visualist in order to be such a great photographer and artist as you are. And on that note, what do you feel the role of the artist is in society? Like, and I just heard that a lot when you were talking about like your teacher. So I kind of felt like that may have influenced it. You actually were teaching me. So I feel like one of the roles of an artist is to teach, because you've literally just taught me.
I think that's like the major role of the artist. What I think has been happening really in our community as artists have risen and they see that rise, there's an ego that comes with it. And we have to kind of drop down and pull back.
Yeah.
And then draw the line of where we need to give back. So I get when people get, that like this knowledge is mine and only I know how to do this. To me, it's much more than that, so bringing back to society, bringing back to the community, and bringing back overall, knowledge lives on. Because at the end of the day, I'm dead.
Student. Yeah.
I am always a student, and I can be a teacher as well. And that's one of the major things, that I've learned in yoga and learned through history. And any person that really does inspire me has always been a student, stayed a student, has always been a teacher, but will always be a student.
Absolutely. So, thank you for
knowledge.
That. Yeah, totally.
Catherine, what are you working on next? What's your current projects? What are you doing right now at this moment that's revolutionizing the world?
So like goes back all to that, wrapping around like content creation and everything else. I've just launched out an umbrella company with an amazing team of people. It's called Formula. It's form-u.la. Check out our website. We have amazing like composers on there, web developers, photographers, content creators, digital marketing strategy, you name it. So as the advertising age is changing, the digital age is constantly changing on like a second to second, minute to minute basis. We like to bring the, I hate this word, but turnkey solutions to that industry, but also first and foremost, form those intimate relationships with our clientele and people that we help grow and bring up together. So creating that community, sustaining that community within the content in order to further outreach with content creation and development.
Whoa, definitely. Wow. That sounds exciting. That alone sounds exciting, right, guys?
Powered right there.
Yeah, please share with us some of the most exciting experiences of your life, if you even have any more, because some of the things that you've already shared, moving from like literally Russia to Mississippi, the teacher, the influence with gospel music, the fact that what you originally were going to major in, I mean, you've taken us on a journey, but are there any more sparkles in your life that you can share to inspire?
Sparkles. She used the word sparkles.
Yes, I'm so sparkles.
I mean, like the most exciting and like, well, it's exciting and everything that, but sparkles, like getting glitter out of my studio is like not the most exciting thing in the world, but shooting with it is cool because I call glitter like studio herpes because it just fucking never leaves.
Oh my God, it does.
Sorry, it just never goes away.
I love glitter except for when it gets in my eye. It can stick, but when it gets in my eye.
Yeah, be careful.
Wow.
Yeah,
studio.
Sure.
It's just a weird thing. Sorry, guys.
But talk to us about the excitement.
The excitement is, from the glitter to the glitz of like the fashion industry and all of that. I've gotten to work with some really amazing, really A-listers and just different musicians and different actors. Shot Agnes Mill, which was really cool. She was such a sweetheart. Yeah. And she's just really top charting right now. And I see her Instagram and feed and everything. She's an inspiration. And also like the young kids like coming out too, just to kind of see how they move. And then recently just shot another billboard, which was really cool, which was for a wine brand. Can't say the name quite yet, but it'll be up and running, and got to work with amazing team on that. Like one of the best casting directors and Grammy award-winning casting director that did This Is America. So he casted that. That was my casting director, Block M Casting. So he was
Gambino for everybody. That
So that's definitely been some highlights. And the biggest highlight is really bringing Formula together as an umbrella company and a different structure for a creative agency for people to access.
So would you say that's what you're currently working on right now? Is that the core or the main thing that you're working on right now? Is there anything else?
Yeah, it's like, I've built my planet. So like now I'm building moons around it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh no, I totally
I've been building my universe and all these planets of people have been coming into my life at the right time and space.
Yes.
So now it's like, grid mapping and like putting satellites out there and doing things like that, little mini NASA camps.
Absolutely.
What is it, camps? What kind of camps?
NASA.
I love that. Like Houston H-Town?
Yeah.
Yeah. Space.
And we ain't,
love it.
Houston, we ain't got no problems
We
so
ain't got
far.
no
So
problems.
that's good.
And that's where I was raised. So, we just connect.
Oh, cool.
Definitely,
Nice.
Catherine. So, what can you not do without?
I can't do without my coffee in the morning.
Coffee.
And then
that.
most of all my people. Yeah.
People, yeah.
Not my, I mean, like, not like, I don't want to say like my people, like I'm like possessive of them, but yeah,
Like
like
your
I
tribe.
kind of am like possessive of my people. I'm just like, yo, you're mine. Like, like, because we have a built up history, so,
Mhm.
like it
Definitely.
was just that quantum entanglement that happened. So it's just natural.
You're all for the people.
so-
I got love for you.
Yeah.
On that.
Absolutely.
Definitely got love for you on that.
I got to ask you, what is the best advice that you can give an up and coming artist or somebody that is just at the state right now where they are creating on a basic level, younger, those students that were you,
Mhm.
perhaps. But what is the best piece of advice you can offer those that are listening?
I, as hard as it may seem to, like wake up in the morning every day and like crank, you
Mhm.
gotta.
Whoa.
Like as hard as this or that, like you gotta surround yourself with that, like people.
Mhm.
And then like next people that are not helping you move forward out of your
Mm.
life.
Whoa.
And if you can like, I wish I did this at an earlier age, but if you can like form that like routine to where you can like ground yourself,
Mhm.
because we always have to like kind of reground and reset and all of that.
Absolutely.
But at like in your 20s, you got all the energy in the world. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, if you start practicing now, you ain't got a problem, like ever.
Yeah.
Here's my Southern, I just said ain't.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
shit. Okay. But that and then yeah, I mean it's just about never giving up. It's just like knowing your path. It's about never giving up. It's in believing in yourself overall
That's good.
and knowing how to fail because it's hard. There's a plethora of photographers out there and
Yeah.
there's people with iPhones and
Yeah.
cameras, high-end cameras are so affordable right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's sticking to your vision, no matter what
Yeah.
tools you're using. And tools, yes, they're important.
yeah.
My tools are very important to me. And I'm a minimalist when it comes to a lot of things. But, you can have all the knickknacks and all the money in the world. But if you can make something from nothing,
Mm.
that is the biggest challenge. So
That's beautiful.
challenging everybody to make something from nothing
Mhm.
on a daily basis.
That's beautiful.
I think that really strives and pushes that career because whether you're at a high financial level or a low financial level or in the middle ground, if you can do something with nothing, like you're going to be a fighter and you're going to make it. And
Well,
the universe will,
Catherine-
get you.
Catherine,
Yeah.
let me tell you something, Queen. You did not just inspire artists, you inspired everyone, every creator on this earth. Basically, you told them to stay grounded by keep going.
Yes.
Yeah,
Keep
just never
going.
give up.
Never
And,
give
like,
up. Wow.
I don't know if it's in my
We
Russian
gotta snap that. No, we gotta snap that.
DNA.
For
It's
sure,
like
yo, gotcha.
work hard all day long. It's
Yo.
like I remember stories from my mom, and she's like, they're like on a potato farm.
Yeah.
Like, why? And they're like, make the bed. We're at like camp, and that was the training the Russians really did, and then that training was like passed on to me. So like, yes, I appreciate all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Whoa. This is, I'm still like
Well,
tap chills.
Amazing.
Deep breaths.
On a
Okay.
personal note, I got to ask you because it's just been so much beauty. On a personal note, what do you dislike?
Catch up.
Okay. Really? So does my son. You guys are the rare few.
So weird. It's like
It's-
weird.
He's like,
like-
boo.
It's like
Yeah.
who like it's this like muddy, weird, gooey like thing that like you squeeze out of a bottle and it like makes this like
Is it
sound.
popular? Is it popular at all in Russia?
I mean now it is, but like it was really foreign to me. I was like, what is this
Well,
squirty bottle of like
Yeah.
things?
Red
And then
stuff.
they're like, oh, it has lycopene in it. It's good for to your testosterone prostate.
Yeah.
Can't like
Everything has
Really?
everything
Wow.
in
Ketchup?
something.
Is that
Whoa.
true?
Like
I
people
need
that
to
don't like-
put more ketchup in
We-
my diet.
Yeah, we will
Damn,
never
I
eat
didn't even know all
anything.
that.
when we finish
It's
with
just,
everything.
it's like,
I am going for a ketchup
Go.
sandwich.
Yeah,
later.
literally. I want ketchup.
yeah, like, and it's weird.
I'm
Like,
not
Americans
afraid.
started like, here's a piece of bread, and we're going to
Whoa.
put some ketchup on it,
Man.
and then some cheese. And it's like
That's
almost
the
like a
Mississippi.
peanut butter
No, I
and
can't do
jelly.
That's
And that just weirds me out. Like, I'm sorry.
Ketchup sandwich.
Mississippi
What
probably
about pizza?
traumatized
Unless
you.
it's like fancy ketchup with like that, like aioli ketchup, I'm cool with that.
Or like a cocktail
okay.
sauce type vibe.
oh yeah,
like
I'm
with
good with
seafood.
red
Yeah.
sauces, but like ketchup,
Ketchup,
in
it just
general,
doesn't. Okay, got you.
That's nasty.
What
Fair.
about
But
like
I'll shoot
spaghetti?
a commercial
that?
for Heinz.
Yeah. Pay me.
Do you like spaghetti sauce and all that? That's what
Oh,
I
yeah,
think of
yeah,
when I
yeah.
thought about ketchup.
No,
For a while,
like
it was just like it's
pasta.
like a tomato.
if you
thing.
put spaghetti in a dish and you pour ketchup on it, it's not.
Oh, it's not the same. It
Transform.
doesn't
way
even
different,
have.
but
It
then
doesn't even have the same ambiance. It's like I can't.
That doesn't
Yeah.
even compare to ravioli.
I even think that there's sugar in ketchup though. Yeah,
No, there
they
is
have
sugar.
right. There's
low
sugar in
sugar
there,
ketchup
though. Yeah.
now. Okay, so now that
It's
you
just
told us
weird.
what you dislike, we are about to talk about ketchup. Okay, so
Yeah.
no, we won't even do that.
Tangent.
She dislikes it. So she
Dislikes it. Let's see. What's the biggest challenge you face on a daily basis? The biggest challenge.
I mean, on a daily basis, it's just, the check marks off the list because it's just like, when do I stop?
Mm.
So like my biggest daily challenge is like my stopping point. So I've been trying to discipline myself to like stop working at 7. Like
Oh,
try to have
wow.
like a 9 to 5 schedule because I
Yeah.
just like tend to be a workaholic. So it's just like start Netflixing or like go walk around Target.
Wow.
Go get like I don't know, like do
Time
some
for self meditation.
Yeah, go to yoga.
Yeah.
like
Family,
I don't care,
friends,
binge Netflix. I know that's not like so healthy, or don't eat ketchup,
I
whatever.
think that Netflix
But
is cool. It
it's
gives you an
just-
escape.
It's keeping like on a structured schedule and making sure that I have time for myself
That's beautiful,
at the end
Catherine.
of the day. So
For sure.
Well, I know
because, yeah,
people
again.
want to find you. Like I'm right now, like I want to stalk you, even though I already know
Yeah.
you. Can you please let the listening audience know where we can find you everywhere
Well,
and
please.
spell it out?
currently right here, right now, in this present moment.
The dream.
But
Hotel
you
Hollywood.
can find me here co-hosting on Trip Digital Radio for Dash.
Uh-huh.
And then as far as Instagram goes, it's Catherine Asanov. That's Catherine with a C, spelled the traditional way. And then ASANOV, as well as Facebook, or you can just Google that because nobody else has my name. So that's cool.
Perfection,
Nice.
and it's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, the big
All right,
one, Journey.
big question.
That's the big
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah. It's this question that we ask every person that comes through here because everybody's divine and we have a silver lining with the people that we align with. So that
Mhm.
question is, what is your super duper duper duper?
Okay, wow.
Duper-duper-duper.
That is
Super
extraordinary
power.
how he introduced that.
That's a really hard one. I've been binging Supergirl, so like I wish I could fly or like have
Okay.
like laser beam eyes. Like that's always been my dream. But
Yeah.
I think like it's the blessing and the curse of the superpower. I'm an empath, so it's like I get these
Mm.
weird things where I like walk down streets and I can feel people's emotions and
Ooh.
energies. Like if somebody's sad and it just kind of, and that's why I kind of like
Creating
wear
moons.
like
Remember, she
Mm.
creates moons.
protective like
Crystals, jewelry, totally.
wear labradorite
That energy.
on a daily
Mm.
basis to kind of like not
So you're absorbing
like I'm
energies.
surrounded
Okay.
by like so many different energies constantly, and living in Los Angeles and traveling
Absolutely.
all the time too.
That's
So it you can only take in what you want to take in. So
Absolutely.
it's a blessing curse superpower, but yeah, it's kind of dope, and still learning how to like control it
Yeah.
or embrace it, I guess.
Yeah.
Be the better term.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind
Besides,
of a common.
like actually wearing every hair color pretty damn well.
Oh,
Oh, I
Now that's
love
a
it.
superpower.
That's fun. We totally got to do pictures.
I
that's
mean,
a real
like,
superpower.
We're gonna do a fashion industry, like photography, like superpower. I'd say I can rock every hair color pretty well.
Woo!
So
Hey,
Hey.
that's amazing right there.
Love
I've
it.
seen some ladies out there in the red hair, and I'm like, no.
Okay, right.
Not for you.
Like everybody
Not
can't.
for you.
Right, that's the point. So
Yeah.
that would be a
Yeah.
superpower. Okay.
That's a superpower.
I'm like, stop.
Definitely.
Shout
Hey.
out to my hairstylist, Karina.
Super
Hey,
talented, dude.
Karina.
Well, there it is. I mean, it's always a surprise, a pleasure, and a gift and a blessing to see you work and to see you just elevate and do things that just normal women don't do. So you're setting a
Absolutely.
big example for the women out there, especially coming
Definitely.
into this country and dominating. So
Yeah.
let's give it up for Catherine.
Amazing.
There you have it, Trip Digital Radio Sound Art Expression, Jason Lee, Catherine, and Marquita Monet, and I am DJ Journey, and we're off on some next level building moons and worlds, as Catherine would say.
Okay, wow.
We will
that
see you
was-
later.
whoa, the way he
Trip
aligned
Digital
the
Radio.
words.
All the way up.
All right.
That
We do it.